Let's see. All right, leaders. Building leaders will be our main concern, mainly light leaders. I'll also do some rigging, but yeah. The main objective for today will just be to build some light leaders to do some fishing for well, sander, aka pike perch, aka European walleye. Yeah. I'm gonna get this rod. And I'll have to buy me some cheap, light ball bearing drills. I have found a model that's pretty cheap. Smaller than this. Here's the leaky pipe. Toss of my leaders down. Okay, let's inspect this lot. This was cut like it shouldn't have been cut like it was. Maybe it hit some muscles, but still cut way too easy. That's just so. It's basically no phrase. Up until here. Okay. We'll splice that on once you've got a leader done. And instead of my long 7-strand titanium, we'll actually use, oh, sorry. I was talking weird because I still had my retainer in. I'll just use some cheap 7-strand cable because I still have it. I don't really have a use for it normally, but in this case, it's going to probably break off quite a bit. It's looking fine. This is probably like 30-pound 7-strand. Nothing I would use normally. Yeah. Never hurt to be flexible. Some frames. This old, by the way. Don't need a powder. It's not overboard. This much. Now let's use the right swivels. We always have to use swivels that we can use. Yes, that's a good one. That's another good one. Being attentive to something to be really attentive to detail. In this case, Hi there, Jamie. What's up? What's up, Jamie? Now I just need to write pliers and get to work. Make small printers still in here. On my flip. They're awesome printers, but they're too long. But the only ones that I could use is the pen. Okay, yes, yes. Yeah, buddy. These are my favorite pairs. Hi, I'm alive. Try not to think too much about the rest. Oh, I did get a decent amount of sleep. Also, it was already light out, so I don't sleep. And I had some nightmares. Should we do an offshore loop? Maybe not an offshore loop, but maybe just a double pass with a single knot. Same thing as with mono. Just in case a crimp connection ever failed. Oh, no, that's bad. Anyway, later here. Sorry. Oh, you know, I've survived worse. Let's just stop with this nonsense. It's not necessary. Let's just do simple or let's give it one more last try like this, and after that we'll just do how the simple variant. Okay, I need to leave it happen, especially when I'm going to shrink these up anyway. Oh, no, we'll just do two small pieces of shrinking. And this small shrinking might be like a or I want them all to be long though. Morning, Sturgeon. What's up, bro? I got your need to properly build your leaders. Okay. You never want to use round crimps. Round. I always squeeze them flat a bit, otherwise you run the risk of your wires getting crossed, like literally. And then they'll cut each other when you crimp down. That's why if you're using round crimps for like your light gear stuff, as you normally would, just push them flat just a little bit. And then it's all good. But don't leave them completely round or you run the risk, yeah, that instead of lying next to each other, that will you get your wires crossed, literally. So yeah, that's not what you want. So you know. And by the way, Sturgeon, I've got what I need to make your leaders. Only thing that would be nice to finish them off would be to have a drill because it's personal elbows that I do it all by hand. But I can show you the finished product, how one would look with the way I want to attach the hooks. And what I'll do to reconnect, do the ones that I did crimp directly. The ones that I crimped in a special way, I'll just leave them be because they work almost pretty much as well. But the ones, yeah, here's a leader that we'll be using tomorrow. So where's my finished one? I did last night. Here. This is, as you can see, the hook is almost nothing, like it's barely thicker at all. But this has a double sacrificial anode in here. We've got magnesium and zinc oxide, and it's tied on here using stainless steel wire. And yeah, it always wants to turn. And because it's a stiff connection, it always wants to turn. But unlike these connections that still work pretty well, these are these have a lot of movement, which has a disadvantage. It can happen that your hook will double back into the bait or the leader. Because this is so stiff, there's almost no way of this getting tangled, or it doubling back into the bait. It just doesn't have that much play. You're very, very unlikely to get any issues of any sorts, and you have a very just this one I forgot, or I thought I would do it later, but it turns out it doesn't work. This one I did. I don't have to send it to you. I can just make a different one for you. It's not coated. This is bare steel for the bite section. So probably I should coat this one, or just give you another one that is coated. But yeah. Especially because you only get one of these expensive hooks anyway. I want to give you a proper leader. But yeah, that's how the finished product looks. It is pretty nasty. And yeah, as soon as I have a drill here, I'll definitely redo all connections in that style. I'll shrink the shrink tube on this leader. And in the meantime, I'll build another one. Where's our 30-pound cable? And we can also just start by picking out some more swivels. By the way, do you want your BKK when I land a monster in that leader? Yep. Do you want your BKK hooks, the expensive one? Do you still want it to be a casting leader, or do you want it to be a deployed leader? Just thinking, if you know, like if it's, I can do both. I don't care. Just gotta know what I'll be making. All right. All right. Got a few swivels. Got a couple crimps. Let's already flatten these crimps. Then all we need is our cable. June is right around the corner. Shark Tank, baby. Yeah, man. All right. Now I'm gonna put my cable. Oh man. I do have some fishing coming up, so that's why I'm not focused too much on the shark leaders just right now, but I'll get back to them in a couple days, basically. Then my whole focus will be on that stuff again. Because then I'm not allowed to lure fish or use bait fish anymore anyway, anywhere close to where I live. So then I have all the time in the world. Actually. Mm-hmm. Oh, I thought that. Actually, not really. Except casting, please. Okay. Yeah, I will. Will do. Will do. It'll be a heavy ass fight section, and yeah. I'm also gonna get myself of when I can some point, some 2.5 millimeter and some 2.5 millimeter 19 strand and some 3.5 millimeter 49 strand to be able to do even heavier duty rigs. So with this new rigging method, I'm worried. How did my leader come out? Well, it's a shrink cube. Okay, it doesn't shrink up as much as I'd like it to. Still gonna do the trick, but not a fan. Now let's try this shrink cube. If you can get it over, so the swivel eye, this should be perfect. This is just about perfect. I know you go on the crimp. Does not go over the swivel. But we can double shrink. All right. Also doing a sturgeon trip on Upper Snake Peak. Yeah, I'll definitely get your sturgeon rigs ready. River in Eastern Washington at end of April for 4 days with my buddy, which for 10-foot plus white sturgeon I'll also be filming. That's awesome, yeah. By the way, I don't know if you got my message, but if I send you the hooks, the sturgeon hooks, you mind if I just give, I know you fish heavy braid for your leaders. You mind if I pre-tie them just so I won't charge you anything for it, just so you know, it'll be good for me if I can say some huge fish have been caught on my leaders, other than just by not just myself. And of course, I won't get to fish for sturgeon anytime soon. If you don't, or you're gonna cut me off anyway, then I won't bother. But yeah. All right, crimp this one down. Let's do one or two more of these, and then I think we can call it with these leaders. Nice one. Yeah, I don't have any really big fishing trips planned yet. My father would like to go with me to Ireland again, and I would like to go to Ireland. I don't know if I want to go with my father because that's a story in of itself. But yeah, anywho. So any more of those swivels, or have we used all of them now? There's another. These are just some random 50-pound swivels, something like that. Since I expect these rigs to not last a long time and probably break a couple off, or at least potentially break a couple off, I ain't worried about all the details that I would worry about normally. These will still land in fish. They just need replacement more frequently. But oh well, if I break them all, that won't really matter, will it? So yeah. Okay, let's use one of those heavy duty, high quality swivels. And that'll be the final leader. This one I think I'll actually, this will be my main line and as well. My leaders are deck 130 pound, just mainline. Just my mainline is 100-pound grade. Okay, gotcha. I think I've got something you might like. I have to check the diameter of 130-pound Dacron, because over here that's what sizing goes by generally. It's not so much how heavy it is, but what actual size it is. So yeah, I definitely have some leader that you might like a lot, because it pushes just very beautifully. And I can just put some loops on there, loops you've never seen before. That's a promise. Kind of loop that is. I've seen the technique. Actually, no, I haven't seen this technique before. I've seen something that works similar, but I'm not a fan of because it is a bit. It sometimes goes a bit wrong. But yeah, the way I do loops in braid the leaders doesn't it can be braided. That one can be braided. Kevlar can be braided. Dyneema, Spectra doesn't matter. It's something special that has yeah. It's not a giant deal, but it's just it's a super strong loop and it'll never ever open itself. It's literally impossible. But it's still the smallest, lowest profile connection you can have. Alrighty. Now we can cut this. Don't worry about swivels, bro. I got 880-pound ones, like literally 1,000 of them. Yeah, I'm actually not gonna put. Yeah, I'm not gonna put swivels on there then, but I will put loops on the sturgeon leaders, and you'll see why. It's a kind of loop you have to see on yourself to get the grasp of it. It's pretty special, if I dare say so myself. I know it's just a loop, but it's a loop like you've never seen before. And no one taught me this. This is something that I just tried myself years ago, but never had a good use for until like a year and a half ago or so. I finally found an application where it works like an absolute freaking charm. And that is putting loops into any kind of braided leader material or braided line, really. Yeah, some form of leader it has to be actually. Anyway. I might teach how to do this, but it doesn't look special at first until you see it in action. Then it's yeah. Then you'll see. You'll just see. By the way, if I make end wine on leaders, I'll also make finish them like that. Unless if they want me to do a loop, I'll loop. I'll do these kind of loops. Yeah, there's nothing like it in this whole entire world. Unfortunately, I don't really use great leader materials deals myself anymore, or this would be gold for me as well. But I hardly have a use for it for my own fishing. Yeah. If I was searching fishing, I would definitely use it. But I don't really search and fish. Anyway, that sounds awesome. Definitely use those leaders all. Thank you, thank you. Yeah. That's why I'm also making them for free, because that'll be of course that'll be good for me too. And I'll put I'm just gonna use some steam to get these shrink tubes shrunken. Okie dokie. Now let's put a little taper on our hollow core companion. I'll have to make videos about how I taper hollow core or brain. It's a bit hard to show them live. It's gonna be more of a close up using the macro lens. So then, okay, didn't I have my colors? I mean, honestly, I don't really need to do it in this case, but if I can find some necessary tools, I'll still do it. I'm a bit of a perfectionist in case there's something I didn't notice. Do you generally use more J hooks or circle hooks for sturgeon, by the way? Show the rig. Thanks. Yeah. All that crap, that's what we want to hear. Yeah, a little taper. It gives you another 5 to 10% breaking strength. Anyway, let's go on the other side. Yes, baby. And this is the one I wanted to use first. Okie dokie. Let's do a longer spliced section just for the hell of it. And also as a test, the needle might be too large. Okay, we're in. Now this is splicing just fine. This is just 30-pound hollow core. Come on. Reverse slash. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of the reverse slash needles. I still have a few, and somehow I can't find my does at least a smaller regular wire loop splicing needles. So you gotta make do with what I have. Okay, no, please, no. Okay, that's why I hate reverse slash needles, because I can easily screw up everything. Right. It just doesn't happen with regular needles, not like this. Okie dokie. Let's wait till we find a different needle to do that sometimes, because I don't really want to mess with this again. I have to redo it all over. Sending a short video now of my rig. You can see everything pretty clear on the station release. Thanks, yeah. That would be nice. Anyway, here are my connections on this cable rig. Yup. If I just find some proper needle. I used to have so many needles. What happened to them? I know. Needles are one of those things, you just go through. Some of them break, some of them get lost. That is one thing that's a bit annoying about Shadowcode. You always gotta have needles at hand. And you always only need a couple size these needles. Yeah. And you can absolutely use regular gold or any fluting needles. You don't need the expensive holocore splicing needles necessarily. But they do make life easier. The proper needles. Makes life easier, but it's definitely not necessary. Okay, here's another reverse slash needle. Is this one gonna be any better though? Probably, if I'm being honest. Okay, we'll give it one more try. Wait, no, it's not even reverse. No. Ain't doing that shit. That'll just mess up again. Why don't you just log it? Sorry, again, sounding a bit cynical and a bit pussy. Can we just find a regular needle that'll be the right shape and size? That's all I need. Just need to okay, if I can't find it, we'll do some hassle free. There's them. Or actually, I did have needles in here. I probably have taken them out though. Let's go read. There's a chance one might still be hiding. That's not what we're looking for. Yeah, I desperately need to buy more needles. Even if it's a cheap, non-efficient kind. They still do the job. Just takes longer and more annoying. Okay, I'll be right back. I have a small book in my phone. No, I was hoping for it will work. Well, I just myself a new name tag with a picture of me holding a big 6 gallon mouth open for work. That's awesome. Okay, this little needle should be the trick. Hmm. It'll take forever, but at least it'll work without any issues. And then I'll make some food, and then I'll be back. Then we'll get some catfish stuff set up. Yeah, now at least this works just fine. I wish they would make these kind of needles in long. I tried finding some, but I couldn't. Well, I did, but they were way too thick for anything below 130 pounds. Okay, halfway done. Probably I should have done select that drag fishing, not the shorts channel for this live. Just do fishing on the and I thought this would be a quick just building some cool stuff, but yeah, anyway. Okay, halfway done. Halfway freaking done. This is also a test. Like this is a bit over the top, but it will show us a couple things. But I'm still skeptical about the tight line braid, by the way. I fully trust cotton. The only braid I would only use in certain circumstances is the 80-pound cotton, just because it's not very strong. It's very good braid, but it's no stronger than the 60-pound. But it's a lot rounder, higher weave, which has its advantages, but it's also why, because basically the fibers are bent at sharper angles, it has less linear breaking strength. Okay, there's 3/4 to finishing this. Okay, almost done. Let's see it. Yeah. I don't think I can keep viewers engaged, so we'll keep this one as mainly a fishing channel from here on. Do most of our videos and shorts, of course. Keep most of our stuff like this on the other channel, I think. Okay, like 5 inches splicing left. Basically, I'm splicing more than rod length of whole cord back into itself to double it out. All right. Oh, is this gonna work? I think it is. Should honestly just. Yeah, done. I like Thailand, but it's tough to get now because the company is moving location. So now it will be like 6 months before I can ship anything okay. Yeah, I don't know. So far I have mixed feelings about Thailand. Got mixed feelings about it. Like this 40 pound, it has served me well a few sessions, but there were sessions where honestly I've done just as well with much lighter weight too. And it has broken twice now where it really shouldn't have. I've broken off on this line, on this reel twice where I didn't even really put significant pressure. So I don't know. I don't know, man. Maybe it's just a lot more shock sensitive than Cortland or something, but I know the Cortland 40 pounders take like at least twice as much effort. Actually, no, more than twice as much effort to break. So I don't know. I'll fish it a while, but I don't, unless it blows me away, at least in the light, in the smaller sizes, I don't think I'll be getting more. I think 40-pound Cortland is a pure line. And even the 50, I don't really like the 50-pound Titan line either, from what I've seen so far. So 100 pound, I haven't seen anything bad yet. The 100-pound Cortland seems to work just fine, but maybe Cortland is like an 80 or 100 pound in the ball grade. Also, I didn't really like how the 50, 150 splice. We'll see. We'll just have to see. But yeah, here's our rig now. Let's already attach the split ring. We've already got a length here. If that is one of our quality splitties, at least. Yes, that's a quality split ring. I'll end the live actually, but yeah, see you soon, Sturgeon. I'll have some food and then I'll start a new live, maybe on my other channel, maybe on the long form channel, because I think these tackle preparation style things, they just don't get the people engaged like fishing does. And I think it might hurt this channel. So it might be better to keep it for the long form channel because So people that subscribe to my long form channel, they're more likely to actually be interested in all this. They have a larger attention spans things because this isn't really stuff for people with a quick attention, with a short attention span. All that's rigging. So I might keep that more on my long term channel, but we'll see. Anyway, this rod is ready to go now. And yeah, let's see. If I crank it also to raise the tip, actually it's less than a rod length that I double splice, but it's like 2 meters. So that's like what? In feet, that's 7 feet. We've got 7 feet of doubled up 40-pound hollow cord. So that'll definitely help with rock top chops and stuff like that. But yeah, if we have the things that I've seen on this grade before, we'll see. We'll see. But yeah, I'll put this rod together, then I'll make food, and then I'll be back now. I might go live for the cooking as well, but that will be on my workout and fitness channel, not on the cooking one. Because it doesn't have much to do with fishing, unless we actually cooking up fish ourselves or showing some filleting techniques. If it's not that kind of stuff, I don't feel like it makes sense to show cooking on this channel. Well, anyway. Nice lure. That one's definitely that down. That snap. Come on, where the hell is my real case? Let's start down. Down. And okay. Well, we can do that after. I just have a real case for this reel, but yeah. That rod is ready to go. This is just a reel in its case. That also makes it smaller to transport. Because on these high-end spin reels, you don't have the adjustable or foldable handle on the bar. Oh, here's a reel bag. It was actually from a seller that I saw. So I think unintentionally I sold it without the bag. So yeah. Cheers. This rod is ready to go. Ready to roll, ready to rumble. Cheers. Peace out. See y'all in the next one. Probably in like an hour.